Hi everyone, welcome to the Focus on Recovery Overcoming series. My name is Esther Oluka, and our first guest today, the icebreaker, is Martin Rugaju, who's going to be sharing his story on how he overcame alcohol addiction. So welcome, Martin Rugaju. Yeah.
And I'm glad to be here to all your viewers. Thanks for having me.
Okay, so what have you overcome, Martin? Take us back.
I struggled with drugs and alcohol, to be specific, with marijuana, cigarettes, cat, I think sometimes referred to as my runji. And I used these substances extensively for a long duration of time. I think I had my first drink maybe at the age of 3. And yes, they left us home. The parents went out, in those days, back in the 70s. And there were drinks at home, there were drinks in the fridge, they had cabinets. Went to the fridge at 3 years old, got myself a bottle, opened it, and sat in the chair and drank
your
it.
First sip.
And I had my first proper drink, because by the time they came back, they found me singing, almost passed out in the chair.
At the age of 3.
And the bottle was on the side of the bed. And
at the age of 3.
At the age of 3. They kind of, did a telling off to the maid and my sisters, my elder sisters. But they couldn't have known any better, because they thought, Martin is just in the house, in the sitting room. They were playing in the room, not knowing what I got up to. But yeah, that was quite a vivid event in my past that I remember. And it didn't get worse till much later. By the time I got to university, maybe 18, that was the turn of the millennium, just before, around 96, 97 there. I had started drinking like more regularly. Yeah.
So what kind of alcohol were you taking? Was it only
back then? Alcohol, there was the spirits were there, but were not really my preference, because back in the late 90s, beer was much cheaper. It was about 500 shillings a bottle where we used to drink from. So yeah, we'd mix them up, beer and spirits. And I hadn't yet even gone down to that level where I drank literally anything, but I drank regularly. Okay. Yeah. There were groups of people who drank. We knew people who had money who would want to buy us drinks. So it was a question of putting yourself in the right place at the right time and finding the drinks you had.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And within the family, because I think by that point, I think now you're reaching at a certain peak, were there family members or friends who had raised concerns regarding your drinking?
You'd be surprised, but no.
Oh, they saw it as normal.
It was normal. It was seen as, no, that one doesn't drink that much, because there were a lot of people who were a lot worse.
Okay.
So
from within the family?
From within the family.
And among your friends?
Yeah, and even amongst our friends, there were people who were a lot worse.
Okay.
So I guess maybe the big size, the fact that I ate, didn't quite signal any red flags for them.
Okay.
But what did was, maybe my academics had started to take a toll. I didn't attend class as much as I should have.
What were you studying at the university?
I was doing science. I was doing a Bachelor of Science degree with math, physics, and chemistry.
That's a lot, eh?
Yes, it was supposed to be from Makerere. I was in Makerere. They had been put in Northcote. Later got shifted to Livingstone. It was my attached hall, but I finally got a room in Livingstone. And there was a lot of trouble around that particular hall of residence at the time. But indeed, thinking about it, it didn't cause much concern, short of the fact that I wasn't really going to class.
Okay.
Yeah, for me to be drinking like that, it meant that something else had to take a toll on my time.
Okay, so when did things start turning for the worst?
Well, they never really got hairy at that point. That was just, I guess, the tip of my career. So eventually, I guess my parents realized and they got a bit concerned. So they tried what we in the recovery circles call the geographical solution.
Right.
Whereby if we move him from here and maybe put
Maybe
him
he
over
can,
there,
yeah.
so the peers, the access may be reduced in such a way that maybe the problem can resolve on its own. So I got a scholarship and went to Algeria. And by that time, I just left. I never,
Minus finishing what you had enrolled for.
I never even
in
alerted them that I was leaving.
You
I
just
had
left,
a bunch of, I guess, retakes to do. A lot of exams I hadn't done, some courseworks I hadn't submitted. But once this came in, I immediately jumped the flight and left the country. And when I got there, Algeria is a Muslim country, so alcohol
It's not allowed.
was not easy to get.
You can get, but it's
You
not
can
easy.
get, but it wasn't it wasn't
easy to
easy.
get,
So
yeah.
I kind of shifted gears, because when you have that personality of an addict, it is not much the substance than the way you act. So when I reached there, I started on hashish, which is a form of marijuana, and tobacco, cigarettes.
So those were easily accessible
Those
in
were
the
much
market,
easier to get right
compared
there as
to
compared
the alcohol.
to alcohol. Yeah.
Okay.
And so that's what I started using while I was over there. Yeah.
So how did things progress from then on?
Well,
while you were in Algeria?
they progressed kind of quick, but yeah, it was much easier, because then I had no choice. I had to go and attend school.
Right.
I didn't know so many people there, and since there was no alcohol and cigarettes and hashish, you can smoke and still go to class.
Does it affect you in any kind of way?
Yeah, well,
Does
it
help
does. It does. It's still an addictive substance, because it's cannabis. It's marijuana, but in a different form. So yes, it will give you a few hallucinations here and there. It will give you that calming effect and things like that, kind of reduce anxiety and so on.
Okay.
But it's something that your use gradually increases. Yeah, so if you used a little bit at the beginning, as you continue using, you find yourself using a lot more.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, so were you able to finish school?
Yes, there I was able to finish.
A bachelor's?
Yeah, I did. Actually, it was a diploma, because they encourage you to first do a diploma, work for a year, and then finish off the degree.
Okay.
So I did the diploma, excelled. I did quite well. I think I had about maybe a 3.6, 3.7 grade point average.
Which means that you've done a good
job,
because
the maximum is 4.
Okay.
Yeah, so that was fairly high grades. And then
afterwards,
I was encouraged to come back
to Uganda.
to finish.
Oh, to come back to finish what you had
what I had
for
enrolled. No, in Algeria. I was encouraged to, after you've done the diploma, they tell you come back, work, or go home and work for a year, and then come back and return and finish. So when that time came, I came back home.
To Uganda, briefly.
To Uganda. It wasn't brief. I came back. Yeah, I told myself, I'm going back. But I was thirsty, because the effects of cannabis and cigarettes is nothing like alcohol. So when I came back here, I started to drink like properly, to make up for the 3 years I had spent kind of in isolation. And so in the early 2000s or late 99, I got back here, and I got a job. I started working, but I did a lot more drinking than working.
Okay.
Yeah, and that's, I think, where my drinking career really grew wings.
Okay. Okay, it really heightened.
Yeah, indeed.
So when did you come back to Uganda from Algeria?
I came back at the end of 99.
99.
Yeah.
Okay, so you immediately got a job when you returned?
Yeah, when I got back, I got a job.
What job did you get?
I was a junior consultant for a farm that had been given a contract to develop what we now know as EFRIS. Yeah, it started way back then in 2000. So that was an Italian farm that was doing the initial feasibility study for financial management system for Ministry of Finance.
Okay. So you say that when you returned, that's when the drinking gained what?
Yes, because I hadn't drunk those 3 years.
So
3
you were
years I
like
was in a,
compensating.
so I had to compensate.
Okay, so
Yes.
how bad was it?
It was nasty. It was
How nasty was it?
it was nasty enough that I quit the job.
Yeah.
Yeah, I felt the job was getting in the way
Of
the
your
drinking.
drinking.
Yeah, it was like that. Because the job was good, the money was good, but the hours didn't give me enough hours to drink. And I was that kind of person where I needed to fit everything around the drinking. That's how bad it had become.
Okay.
Yeah, so even if I was going to get a job, that job had to sort of be a supplement or a complement to my drinking. It wasn't a priority.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so this went on. So you were not working?
I got another job.
Oh, you got
I got another
but
job, much less paying, but more flexible.
More flexible.
Yeah.
So it gave you a bit of time.
It gave me a lot more room to drink.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so the progress from there, because you're saying that things like really took a toll.
Yeah, it did get heightened because this was a point where I had just started working, so I should have been more focused on my career and building a career kind of.
Okay.
But I was more interested in drinking, so I would just keep shifting from job to job until I could find something that sat well with my drinking at the time.
Okay, so this was from 1999 to...
Yeah, so 2000 to, I quit that job after about 6 months.
Okay.
Got another job before the end of that year. And yeah, it was like an IT job as a supervisor at a cyber cafe. But that cyber cafe had like a restaurant and a bar, and the work wasn't so demanding that they required you to be stuck sober 24 hours. So I worked that job for another 3 years until the family really got concerned with my drinking, because I drink like all the time. And so,
like they noticed it themselves.
Yeah, because I still stayed at home at the time, so my dad is the one who noticed.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. So when did the family chip in? Or
that was now their second intervention. So again, they tried the geographical solution. So in 2004, I went.
The second intervention after the first one.
After the first one, they sent me to Algeria. Now they sent me down to South Africa.
Still to study?
Yes, to study, to kind of pick up and finish the degree that I had started in engineering again. Okay. So in 2004, I went to Algeria. To South Africa. To kind of continue to pursue a degree, because I currently had a diploma. Okay. So the idea was I would pursue a degree for about, they had agreed maybe 2 years, and then after that, if I wanted to continue do my master's or something. So I went over there.
To South Africa.
To South Africa.
So from which year to which year?
That was 2000, and I got there in 2004. Okay. In February. And I was there till 2010.
Till 2010. Yeah. And what were you studying in South Africa?
I was still doing the same. I was doing electronics engineering.
A bachelor now?
Yeah, I did the bachelor's, and I was able to complete that by 2006.
Okay, then?
Then I enrolled for a master's.
Still under the same field?
Yeah, still in the same field, same university. Same country. Okay, but that one I never finished. Yeah, so I was there from 2006 till 2010, but I never really finished. Yeah, I was busy.
Okay, yeah. So you finished the degree, but you didn't finish the master's program. So you dropped out in 2010?
I didn't drop out.
You just didn't finish, okay.
I just came back.
Minus finishing the program.
Just came back. I came back. everybody knew I had finished. Even the supervisors, I kept leading them on, promising them I'm doing this, excuse after excuse. Yeah. Until eventually, in 2010, I had actually, in my mind, it was I want to watch the World Cup and then go back home. Right. That was what I was really thinking. And so when that had happened and I finished, I told them, no, I'm going to come and submit the dissertation in the January of 2011. But I never went back. So I did come back to Uganda, still nursing my addictive demons. And I got married the following year in 2011.
2011.
Yeah.
Okay.
I had been with my girlfriend in South Africa. We met there. She was also in the same university. So she came back a year prior in 2019. But when we met in 2004, she was a freshman. And me, I was just supposed to be winding up my fourth year. But she came, she did her degree, she did her master's, and came back home. And me, I was there the whole time.
You're there the whole time. Okay, so marriage.
Yeah, marriage came.
And then you're battling an addiction.
Yeah, and nobody seemed to know. So for me, it was... for her, she saw me using and she thought maybe I would quit.
It's just a one-off.
Maybe he's not a bad guy, so maybe it will stop. But the funny thing with addiction is that it progresses. It gets worse. It's not like you get into this one condition. It systemically gets worse. Start by maybe affecting some organs. Then it will also affect your cognitive sometimes ability. So initially maybe you can make it to work, you can hold a meeting and have some level of understanding, but as you use more, those faculties start to wear off. And then when it comes to relationships especially, there's a tendency for you to destroy them without you even knowing it. So while the people
affecting the loved ones around you without you even knowing
it, because you think maybe you're looking out for their best interests, but some of the decisions that you make are really harming them, and sometimes you don't know. In most cases, you don't know.
Okay, but wasn't Madame okay? Didn't Madame start complaining?
Oh yes, she did. She did, but she first and foremost wanted to be married. So complaining about drinking when everybody else
it was secondary.
Drinking, that is besides the point. Let's first marry. At least we know we are with somebody who is educated. They are not totally off the wagon. So yeah, we got married. We got our first child.
Until reality started setting
in. Reality continued, because as we stayed together, we now lived together, and I was absent. I was hardly ever there. So she was the one who had to stay home with the kid. She was the one to
running around, like
looking for me, wondering where I was. Me, I would
calling
me, and
would you even pick the call?
I would pick and say I was on the way.
But of course, you never.
I was still on the way.
Where are you? I'm coming. And then it becomes 1 or 2 hours.
No, it would be nice if it was an hour or two, but mine were days. I would be gone for days. I'm in the country here, even in the neighborhood, but the need to go back home.
And where would you be?
I would be in people's homes. I would be in bars. Yeah, and I would also stray and even leave, go to another district or something and stay at another person's house and tell her, yeah, I'm at so-and-so's place, but maybe I'll come tomorrow. Try and see if there were needs, try and send her the money if she needed something, but I was hardly there. So that started to take a toll. On our relationship.
And it was, I can imagine, what toll it was taking even on her. I mean, she's holding the burden of the family, but I think she was also reaching out to your family members.
Indeed. She did try to reach out for them to try and intervene.
Okay.
And it was challenging, to say the least. Yeah.
Okay. So this went on until.
So we got married.
So you got married in 2011. So this went on until
our first child came 2012, and this went on steadily till about 2016.
2016. Yeah. So what happened in 2016 now?
Now in 2016, I think I had kind of reached a tipping point. And so
the turning point.
No, my turning point was much ahead. The lights hadn't yet gone off for me. So yeah, but in 2016, I also felt that maybe I had done quite a bit, maybe I needed to find a solution. So the family tried to intervene, and they suggested a herbal remedy this time. Because remember, they had already tried some of these, the geographic one. Now they tried, maybe let's try medicine. So they heard from somebody that there was a lady, a herbalist, who had some sort of drug that would help you get off alcohol.
Yeah, yeah.
And so they asked me whether I would consider taking something like that.
It was now family asking.
Yes,
you,
now family was
trying
asking,
to
they were trying to make an intervention. And yeah, I was also feeling the strain because I wasn't working steadily. I was all in and out, always in between jobs. Yeah, when I was kind of a gig worker, when somebody was brave enough to entrust me with a job, I was the #1 disappointer. Yeah, so when I got contracts or assignments, I wasn't really the one to deliver on time. There are certain things that, you know, that the addiction causes you to do. And they were very evident in my own life. So in 2016, when they made this suggestion that I try out that herbal solution, I took it. On the January 9th, I went to her place in the West. I went to her home. She gave me the medicine. She told me the instructions of how I had to take it. And so I jumped on a bus, came back home, showed it to my wife and the kid we had at the time. And yeah, she sat with me and watched me take it. And so 10th, I drank it. It was done by the 10th of January.
Right.
And that was it.
2016.
2016. So it had a very interesting kind of effect in that it kind of lowered your cravings for the substance, whether it was alcohol. But for me, I just felt that maybe if I can get a window, I should be able to, I'll be okay. So when that month, in February of that year, 2016, I felt, yeah, I think I've come over the hardest part because I had spent...
Now you're a bit okay.
I had spent over a month without using anything. And so even for the family, yes, there are signs that you start to see. The lips maybe become clearer, the eyes become whiter, and maybe a bit more weight.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, they started feeling, yeah, that the hope started to return. And even as our relationship started to thaw, it wasn't so cold anymore. And yeah, so we continued that year. But unbeknownst to her is that maybe by March, I had started smoking again. Yeah, I was still smoking marijuana. And rather than drinking, I had also started chewing my runji, cut. And so maybe 2-3 times a week, I used to go to a friend's place or act like I'm going to work, and then I would smoke there and then come back home. And that continued the whole year. They were just happy to see that, oh, you can go out with Martin and he won't ask for a beer. He won't ask for, he's not smoking.
Right.
So for her, that was like, she was happy. And even me, I felt, okay, at least the biggest bag of my case is off. So I really haven't drank alcohol since that time or taken tobacco.
From
But I had, yeah, from 2016. But then I had now, in the terms of recovery or mental health, I had done what is called cross addiction. And I had replaced one substance for another. Yeah.
Okay.
So that continued up until the actual intervention that came in 2022.
2020. If the herbal medicine kind of played part, would you also add other factors that might have added or contributed per se to you stopping?
There was already my own personal willingness.
The personal will.
Yeah, that I wanted to stop. I had lost people, friends,
relationships.
like life. And I knew that they had died due to alcohol. Yeah. And so for me, yeah, alcohol and tobacco. So for me, it was definitely something I needed to stop.
Okay.
Yeah, but understanding that the substitute that I had used was just as bad took me a visit to a treatment center for me to get to know that, because nobody really talked to me about quitting. I just, you know, everybody is so concerned about your using, so concerned, so you figure out if I do this or do that, as long as I'm not drinking, maybe people will somewhat be happy. You know, if you're trying to say please, what you want people to be pleased by your actions. But I never understood the depth of what an addiction quite meant. And so you may not be using a substance, but in your mind, the way you act and behave, you're still like somebody who is using.
Okay, so was that the turning point, or again it came later?
No, now when it came to 2012, like I said, when I continued using
2022 or
2022, sorry.
Yeah, 2022.
Yes, I continued using throughout COVID. The progression of these new drugs I was using now just increased. So yes, he doesn't drink, but he's still not home. That's when I got
After we're
admitted.
coming out from COVID, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Because I got out of COVID, a friend had offered me a job.
Okay.
I was still doing that job while using.
Okay.
And he had kind of also done it as a sort of intervention, because he had known about my using, about my selling and growing. So he thought maybe if he brought me back into the fold, I would be able to, I would maybe be able to focus and earn from a more legitimate means. So he had given me a job. So I worked with him during COVID, from the time they did that sort of mini opening of.
Okay. So is this kind of friend they call a friend? A friend indeed, eh?
He is indeed a friend.
A friend indeed. Someone who knows what you're going through, but they don't give up on you.
No, he is indeed a friend.
Okay. Okay, so eventually you're taken to rehab. Okay. Are you comfortable sharing where you were taken to rehab, or you prefer?
Yeah. I went to one of the 4 facilities.
Okay.
Called Tranquil Homes.
Okay.
Yeah, somewhere in Kajansi. And then I was discharged, I think, end of June.
2022.
Yeah.
Okay.
There for about 170 days. It should have been longer, but I guess they were kind of happy with my progress. So I left maybe a week before.
Okay. How was your experience in rehab?
It was hills and valleys, I must say.
It was your first time?
Yeah, it was the first time. It wasn't anything I ever expected to have gone through. Yeah, I didn't expect to find myself there, because to a large extent I still thought I was functional.
Right.
Yeah, I was still convinced that I had my wits about me. I was very much in denial about the damage that the substance had done to me in terms of my relationships, my reasoning, my memory. Things I didn't want to have to admit, but I was forced to come to terms with that. And during the treatment, during the psychoeducation, I somewhat started to make a turning point. I started turning. But the actual turning point was caused when something happened at the facility, which I'm not really at liberty to share. But it was one of the things that pushed me to actually, you know, make a firm decision that maybe I had done enough damage already, as it were.
Right.
And then a continuance and a defiance, because I was quite defiant. I was very much in denial. I did not want anybody.
Rehab, eh?
Yeah, I did not want
You
anybody
want
to
to
tell
know,
me.
eh?
Yes, because I had it figured out.
Yeah.
I was doing my thing. It was working. So why should anybody feel the need to impose? And yet they had, and they did, and for good reason.
Right.
Yeah, for good reason.
Okay. So you leave rehab in
Maybe say early July of 2022.
2022.
Yeah.
So how was life after rehabilitation?
Well, life was kind of slow first, because I had to come back to our home. We had managed to get a COVID baby with my wife. Yeah, if COVID did anything for us, maybe that was it.
one of the positives
One of the positives
from lockdown.
From all the other things that it had
Yeah.
done. So yeah, we did conceive. I wasn't there much. By the time I went, I was admitted. He was maybe a few months.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so his birthday passed. He turned 1 while I was there.
Hmm.
And then, so when I came out, she was still like the one earning. She was the one working. She was the one paying the bills. So when I came out, the good thing was that during that time we had also managed to construct our house.
Right.
It was incomplete, but we had moved in. Yeah, it wasn't like a shell. There was a big crowd of people who hung around me while I was selling and using. My wife had seen to it that those had left. And so it was family, in the most nuclear sense of the word.
Okay.
So I first poured myself into them, being apologetic for all that I had put them through, and trying to make amends.
Okay.
Yeah, so initially when I came out the first few months, that's what I really spent my time doing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And how are you today? How are you today now?
Today, I guess I can't say I'm 100. I still refer to myself as an addict, as an alcoholic.
Recovering?
In recovery.
In recovery.
In recovery.
It's called an addict in recovery.
Yeah,
okay.
An addict. But an addict is always going to be an addict, unfortunately, with this disease, because the fact that it can recur, the fact that one can relapse, you don't relapse into an easier state. It's always kind of worse each time it happens. So,
and anything can.
Yeah, you get triggers.
Trigger.
But you can get triggered into using for whatever reason. But when you do, because of having so much time not using, your body is automatically going to try to make up.
Okay.
Yeah. So right now, I can say I'm well. The family is well. My relationships are okay. My occupation now doesn't have me running into the law very often because of what I do. And I try mainly, one of the things I do is to try and encourage other people who are struggling, and that also helps to keep me also on the narrow path.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So you don't drink anymore?
No, I don't drink anymore.
So that was
anymore.
From 2016 until now.
Until now.
So you've not taken alcohol from 2016?
I've been very proud to say
until
it's 10
now?
years now. When I tell people, they can't. Some of them who know can actually believe it, but most people don't. And then these other substances, it's coming on 4 years now. 5.
4 years,
Yeah.
minus using anything.
Minus using.
Okay. And then the situation at home, has it gotten back to normal now?
Yes, the situation has improved.
Okay.
My spirituality has also increased. Back then when I smoked a lot, I felt I was being spiritual, but I guess it was partly a delusion. Because when you associate some of these drugs, which can be addictive, a lot of them are associated with spirituality.
Right.
Yeah, some of them are even associated with some religions, as it were. But where you cross the line from something being maybe spiritual or a sacrament or whatever to something that you're using regularly, yeah, whether you're praying or you're not, whether you're meditating or you're not, it now turns to an addiction.
Any kind of addiction will tell you sometimes the urge comes, or there are certain kind of triggers.
Yes,
so how
indeed.
do you maneuver?
Those are the things that you have to start to learn as you or once you crave. Those are like the internal mental processes. So once those things start to happen, surprisingly enough, we can become aware. And it's with increased awareness that you're able to know that now I'm feeling this way.
Okay.
Or this and this is rubbing me this way. And I'm most likely to do this. So increasing your level of awareness, that is for me one of my biggest things.
Okay.
That has also been done by, like I said, being spiritual. So somehow now God stands up in the space where all the drugs and the alcohol used to be. So when it is for him that I'm working, it kind of, reinvigorates me. And for me, then it makes some of these things more like taboo.
In coping, are there places that you try and avoid?
Definitely.
Certain friends you try to avoid?
Definitely.
Certain music or whatever?
Music, not as much. They talk about our triggers and people, places, and things.
Oh, okay.
So yes, people, definitely there are people that I had to avoid.
Like even cut off completely, right?
Not completely, but I will not beat them in person.
Okay.
Or go back to those places because it becomes very hard for you to resist.
Okay.
Once you're in such a place. Things, not as much, because things are typically like memorabilia that remind you of those using days.
Okay.
So things not as much, but people and places, yes, there are certain people that I just had to part ways with.
So Martin, from this journey of recovery, what have been the profound lessons that you have gotten along the way?
For me, my biggest lesson was to really be open-minded. I had gotten to a point, and something that I see even with some of the people I deal with nowadays, whereby I don't know whether it's ego or it's simply maybe what they call the addictive personality, where somebody gets so closed down that you cannot teach them anything. They become extremely less teachable. So for me on my journey, I had become that person. I kind of knew it all. What I didn't know, Google would tell me. And from what Google told me, I would always be biased towards what I wanted to hear. So over this journey, I have learned to listen more, to become teachable, not to accept that I do not know it all. Because that was me. You couldn't tell me anything back then. But now I'll sit down, I'll listen, I'll weigh people's arguments. And above all, I won't be so fast to impose my own thoughts on other people.
So as we conclude, just your parting remarks to anyone who's currently battling either a mental health crisis or addiction, what is your message to them?
There are professionals out there that can help. We take them a lot of times for granted because we feel we want to dictate on how we should be helped.
What kind of professionals?
Mental health professionals, from our psychologists to our psychiatrists to our addiction specialists. There are so many people out there who have quality knowledge and really good lived experiences that can help you. Most of the people, when they get into this kind of space, they lose hope. They become desperate. You will hear about, we've seen this doctor, we've gone to the other shrine, we have been prayed for by the other pastor, but things don't seem to mold for them. And I felt the same way. So when I talk to people who may still struggling, my parting shots are, listen to the professionals, and don't try and be your own doctor. Yes, because a lot of times you come to me and tell me I'm depressed, I'll go and Google, and I hear now Google say that I depressed people do ABCD, and then you try and now medicate yourself in accordance to what you have read on the internet. But people who have had experience dealing with people who are struggling the way you are, they may be in better position to help you get you out of that slump that you're in at the moment.
Is this bit of comfort also knowing that you're not alone in this? There are many also struggling, and you can also get help.
Indeed.
There is hope, right?
There is that hope that comes with numbers, knowing that people got through it. For most people, it's their biggest encourager. When they see somebody who was like them before and now they're in a different state,
have overcome.
They have overcome. I think that's the word. Then that encourages them to know that there is still hope out there. And for many people, if there are people who have these stories to share, it would be very important that these stories reach out to the people who are still struggling, so that they do not die in their own movie in silence for that matter. Yeah.
Okay. Okay, interesting. So if you're out there and you are watching this and you're battling either a mental health crisis or addiction, know that you're not alone. There is help, and if Martin can overcome, you can also overcome.
My pleasure.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.